Why, hello YouTube. This is BalorMage. Welcome back again to our next video. So, you're going to see some stuff in the background. We've been MFing for a few days now. Anyone who doesn't know what that stands for, it is Magic Find, which just means I've stacked as much quantity and as much rarity as I can, which means that the character has given up quite a bit of power to do so. So we spent a little bit of time just working out exactly how much strength we would need to be able to clear tier 16s with 85% plus quantity with 20% delirious on them, and we've built exactly that amount of damage that we would need to do that comfortably, and only exactly that amount of damage, which means we could invest further, we could get more damage. There's no need. These characters are specifically purpose-built to MF tier 16 maps. They do not boss, they do not do simulacrums, they do not do anything. They also, with my current gear level, don't have enough power to run without a headhunter on. That being said, you can invest more into them and not wear a headhunter, but the point was to spend exactly what I needed to spend to get it to exactly the point it's at, which is just purpose built for this exact power level. So you're seeing two different versions in the background. I started as Kinetic Blast Corrupting Fever, which was super fun. We did that for two or 3 days. That was super good. It's definitely the starting point. It was significantly cheaper to put together. But just starting yesterday, I decided I loved MFing. I loved running these maps. I loved the returns that I was getting. So I decided I was going to keep doing it for a few more days. And that meant I wanted a little bit more out of it. So I invested another 30 to 40x to change it over to Tornado Shot. So we're going to have both sets of path buildings. This is essentially the same build. It's just the delivery method of Corrupting Fever that matters. So both sets of build will be in this. Also, I will quickly move into game and run over the scarabs and setup over onto this one. So I've been rolling full tabs. We've obviously run half this tab already, but this is what our maps look like. We've just been rolling everything to 85 or above. If it hits 85% quant, we run it. I can run all map mods. There is not a map mod that I cannot run. However, I have been rolling over buffs expire 70% faster because Corrupting Fever counts as a buff. So right now I have a 12-second Corrupting Fever, but if I get 70% faster expiration on that, it is just a little harder to keep up with attacking. If you go without attacking for like a few seconds, it falls off. It's very inconvenient. I don't love it at all. So I've been rolling over that one just for convenience, but if you were to Val into it or something, it's fine. You can just run it. So this is what all my maps look like. We are running Beyond, Harbinger, Hunted Traders, and Area Contains Alva, because it's almost impossible to keep up with Alva missions, although I have been banking some, so I'll run some with an extra sextant at some point, but you can't keep up with them. You can't maintain them forever. It's impossible. So I've just been using the sextant for a while. I'm also running Gilded Harbinger, Gilded Breach, Gilded Reliquary, and Gilded Divination cards. These are all very expensive. However, we're making pretty good money. I'm perfectly happy with it. We have quite a bit of money. We haven't sold a lot of things. We have a lot of stuff just lying around that we haven't sold yet, and we're still making really good money. The reason for Promenade is the patient card. I'm dropping on average, my rough guess is about 2.8 patients per map. So they're adding up quite nicely. Still haven't sold those. There is also a second card, which is called Dying Anguish, which we've collected quite a few of, which gives you a level 19 alternate quality gem. I'm not going to be opening them for a while. I'm going to save up like 800 of them and then open them all at once. So that's the reason for doing Promenade. You don't have to do Promenade, but you should be somewhere where there's a card. Whatever map you like, where there's a card you want to farm, That's what you should be doing if you're doing this. So we have two path of buildings. So we will start with the cheaper one, which was this version that I started with. Now, in order to make things as easy as possible, we are running this version on a 5-link. That is it. It only has a 5-link because we need the +2. The +2 on the chest that I have for this version is a lot of damage. It's even more damage than a 6th link, and a 6th link would force us to have to use the free when focus craft on an amulet, which I don't have. We do have our quant amulet, venters, all the normal stuff, all the normal MF stuff, vulnerability on hit. This is our total DPS. This is not selected boss, because this character is purpose built to speedrun maps for MF. It does not do bossing content, not like this. So it's only at about 1.4 mil if you get up to 10 stages of corrupting fever, but it does have a good amount of armor, a molten shell, and complete ailment immunity, because I am also not running pride because I don't need to. So I'm running malevolence, herald of purity, and purity of elements, and determination. No banner, no pride. There is tons more you could invest into this if it was a real character. There is tons more damage you could get out of it if you stopped MFing and went with real stuff, but purpose-built characters. Then I decided I would rather play the tornado shot version. So this is what our wand looked like, which is quite a decent wand. Multi-modded, just like a normal corrupting fever wand. I will touch on the shield. There is an 8% quantity shield. I did have that on to begin with, but this is actually realistically the minimum DPS that you can have to comfortably do these maps. Dropping this +1 off for a quant shield put me down to 1.2, and 1.2 instead of 1.4 literally wasn't enough. That was the difference. I suddenly couldn't kill the maps anymore. So this actually is the minimum level of power you need to be able to do this strategy in full MF gear. So take that quite well if you're trying to build an MF character for some other character or some other purpose. We're looking at about 1.4 million minimum before it starts to feel smooth. That is on 20% delirious. I decided I wanted to go tornado shot. We actually went up to 1.6 nearly by going tornado shot. Everything on the tree stayed exactly the same. Nothing changed. I'm still only in a single cluster setup. Again, I could get a ton more damage out of putting another cluster setup in here, which I could do by just dropping some life nodes, life mastery, and the spiritual aid wheel, which is not incredibly efficient damage. I would definitely get more damage out of putting an entire another cluster setup in and dropping all that stuff. But purpose-built character has exactly enough damage to clear everything super smooth and comfortably. I actually don't need any more, and what's left on the tree without a cluster jewel, this is it. This is what I took. So that's why we did that. Our bow looks exactly like the normal corrupting fever bows. Our quiver looks exactly like you would expect. An extra projectile, some projectile speed, and some attack speed. That's all that matters. Apply our corrupting fever faster, projectile speed to make tornado shot go further. The only other piece of gear that changed is the helmet, because we multi-modded ourselves a helmet because I had to craft it myself because I needed a mana reservation essence as well as the mana reservation implicit to be able to fit all of our auras on and get the tornado shot fires an additional second projectile enchant, which is super important. On this version that was much cheaper, we only used a malevolence enchant. Either malevolence or purity of elements would have been fine, same deal, and that fit everything in. Again, a ton more I could invest into this character. We could up the tiers of those mods. We could get a 12% roll on the actual helmet, and then a higher tier in the implicit. We could fit in anomalous blood and sand. We could fit in a banner. We could do all sorts of things. But when you're already sitting at 5.3k life and you've got a headhunter on and you're doing the amount of damage that you need to be doing to clear through these maps comfortably, there's just no reason to invest any further. So the whole point of this is just as much quantity and as much rarity as we can get. We're finding a ton of stuff. It's been very, very fun. I'm probably going to keep doing it. I may even keep doing it to level 100. You can see we're already level 98, which is insane. Just the character is like surprisingly tanky for very little effort put into it for defense. I think mostly it's just that I have a large enough life pool and I have life gain on hit on both versions. Both versions of it had life gain on hit. When I do tornado shot, I'm just woke fork, woke chain, life tap, life gain on hit, GMP. And then when I do the wand version of it, we're just kinetic blast, GMP, life gain on hit, life tap. And so that's 56 life gain on hit for every single hit. Kinetic blast hits a ton, tornado shot hits a ton. We have enough raw life to just not get one shot, and then it just instantly back up. And because we spend life for our skills, we don't care about cannot leech, we don't care about cannot regen, we don't care about any map mod. There just isn't a map mod that matters. And that's also been an incredibly pleasant experience. Not worrying about map mods at all is fantastic. It just feels amazing. So yeah, this has been super fun. This is probably what I'm going with for the next few days. It's making a lot of money. I probably plan to farm up an entire mage blood like this, and then we're going to try and do another super budget build, and then we're going to make a build with the mage blood because I think that'll be fun. I'm still super enjoying the league, still super into it. We're going to be here a while. So that is all. Please, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, give the video a like. Don't forget to comment something in the comments for the YouTube algorithm gods. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you all, and I will see you later.